Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel for another video. This one, we're with the Mayor and we're down at the Peace Pole here in Glastonbury by the Town Hall because it's the Nagasaki Peace Commemoration. Mayors across the world come out and declare for peace. So we've got a mayor here, so let's go see what she's got to say.
Nagasaki, peace declaration. Suddenly, a rainbow-like flash of light burst from behind me. A blast of wind knocked me over, slamming me into the road, touching my back. My clothes were gone and my skin was blistered and slimy, sticking to my fingers. I was in hospital for 3 years and 7 months, hovering between life and death. And 1 year and 9 months of my stay, I spent lying on my stomach, my back covered with severe burns. My chest was covered with bed sores and flesh rotting to the bone. Even now, my chest appears gouged so deeply that you can hear my heart beating through my ribs. This is the experience of Tangi Dochi, samurai who sustained crimson red burns all over his back in the atomic bombing of an age of 16 years old. The atomic bomb that exploded over Nagasaki at 11:02 in the morning, August 9th, 1945, stole the lives of 74,000 people by the end of the year. And Hakushi, who survived, developed leukemia, cancer and other diseases for years and decades after the bombing, battled with suffering of anxiety due to the effects of radiation even now. Passed away 6 years ago, but before his death he left a message that seemed to foresee the world today. People appear to gradually forgetting the suffering of the past. This forgetting terrifies me. I fear that forgetfulness will lead to the acceptance of further atomic bombs and bombings. As the invasion of the Ukraine drags on, Russia continues to threaten use of nuclear weapons. Other nuclear states are accelerating moves to strengthen their dependence on nuclear weapons or enhance their nuclear capabilities, further increasing the risk of a nuclear war. What must we do right now? We have to go back to the very beginning to look again. What happened to human beings beneath and underneath the mushroom cloud 78 years ago? And address the fundamental question of what would happen on Earth and to humankind if a nuclear war were to begin right now. At the G7 Hiroshima summit, May, in this year, the leaders of all the participating countries visited the Hiroshima Peace War Memorial Museum and met at the Hakisha, showing the world through their own actions the importance of knowing the reality of the atomic bombs. Furthermore, the G7 leaders' Hiroshima Vision on Nuclear Disarmament, one of the summit's outcome documents, reaffirmed that a nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought. However, the Hiroshima Vision is predicted on nuclear deterrence. Nations maintain their safety by possessing nuclear weapons. Russia is not the only state representing the risk of a nuclear deterrent. As long as the states are dependent on nuclear deterrent, we cannot realize the world without nuclear weapons. Eliminating nuclear weapons from the face of the earth is the only way to truly protect our safety. I hereby appeal to the leaders of nuclear states and countries under the nuclear umbrella. Now is the time to show courage, to make the decision to break free from dependence on nuclear deterrence. I ask that you move steadily along the path to abolish nuclear weapons through dialogue, not confrontation, based on a concept of security centered on humanity. I hereby appeal to the government of Japan and members of the National Diet. The world is watching the actions of the only country to experience wartime atomic bombs. In order to clearly show Japan's resolve to abolish nuclear weapons, please participate in the second meeting of the States Party to the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons as an observer and sign and ratify the treaty as quickly as possible. I ask that, in addition to firmly maintaining the principles of peace in Japanese constitution, you engage in diplomatic efforts aimed at disarmament and alleviation of tension in the region, such as denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and the Asian Nuclear-Free Initiative. I ask that everyone in the world stops for a moment and thinks, despite the pain caused by recalling their atomic bombing experience. The Heibusaki have continuously called on the world to recognize the humanity of nuclear weapons by recounting their personal ordeals. Surely it is their testimonies that have been a deterrent force preventing the nuclear weapons during the past 78 years. Please visit the atomic bomb sites, see with your own eyes and sense the consequences of nuclear war. Please listen to the testimonies, a common inheritance of humankind that must continue to be talked about throughout the world. In addition to expressing my deepest condolences to those lives who were taken by atomic bombs, I declare here that Nagasaki will continue to strive to disseminate a culture of peace throughout the world, as well as to realize the abolition of nuclear weapons and permanent world peace, working with not only Hiroshima, Okinawa and Fukushima, which sustained radiation damage, but all people who desire peace. This is written and will be read out throughout the world. Suzuki Shiro, Mayor of Nagasaki, written August 20th, 2023. Thank you. I would like now to have a minute's peace to remember those lost. Thank you everyone for coming. Long may we remember.
So here I am with the mayor after that moving ceremony by the peace sign there in Glastonbury. That was the first one you've done as mayor, isn't it?
That is. It'll be, how long have we been a Mayors for Peace? I think we've been a Mayors for Peace probably about 7 years.
Quite a year. Ian Tucker was mayor because I was there when that was in. I
Perfect.
came down and saw that going in.
Perfect.
Sadly, I didn't film it. I wasn't filming then.
There we go, you've got it now. So no, we've been doing this every year since, but it's commemoration for the dropping of the bombs on Hiroshima and Fukushima. So today at the Peace Memorial ceremony commemorating 78 years since the bombing, we offer heartfelt condolences to the souls of the atomic bomb victims. Together with Nagasaki and like-minded people around the world, we pledge to do everything in our power to abolish nuclear weapons and light the way towards lasting world peace. So this is a pledge that mayors all around the world have signed, and Glastonbury is a Mayors for Peace town. I mean, it could be that a mayor comes in and doesn't want to be a Mayors for Peace town, and that's so yes, they won't do that. That will be their choice, exactly. But yes, I opted in to be a mayor for peace, and it means that, yes, it's a solidarity move really with with the mayors in Japan. So they wrote, that was the mayor of Hiroshima wrote that declaration, of which around the world, everyone at the same time, on the same day, will be reading out.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's nice to be connected and to remember, you know, lest we forget. Yeah, there are families still suffering. It's a horrendous thing to do to other human beings.
And of course,
the
that was
threat
what,
is still there.
2 bombs. I mean,
Yes, luckily there wasn't the
add a
third one.
0 to that.
Yeah,
Add
absolutely.
3 zeros to
No,
that.
totally.
It kicks
And the
off.
warfare, the military warfare we have now in the world is 1,000 times more powerful than those 2. We must never forget what it does, and the everlasting effect either. It's cowardly.
Well, thank you for that. If you can come down to Glastonbury, you can see over there where the peace pole is. If you want to come down and visit it, feel free to do so. But for now, thank you for coming along to this short video, which is another day in the life of our wonderful mayor. Thank you.
Very welcome.